Summer's in full swing, but if one of your favorite features about this season is soaking up the summer sun, we have points about why you should practice protection. Dermatologist Dr. David Crow's here to answer our burning questions about being safe under the sun. Dr. Crow's on the staff of the Metro Health Systems Department of Dermatology. He sees patients at the main campus and at Metro Health's Westlake Health Center. Thanks for joining us today, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
So let's get started with, we all know we should be wearing sunscreen to protect us from skin cancer, but there are a lot to choose from. We go into any drugstore, they're all over the place. How do we know which is best?
So fortunately, the FDA has recently come down on manufacturers to make things a little bit easier for us in terms of picking out a good sunscreen. For instance, they've banned the use of terms like waterproof, and the term sunblock is no longer used. And they've started instituting the term broad spectrum to imply that both ultraviolet A and ultraviolet B rays are blocked.
Do we want to block both?
Right, we do. Ultraviolet B is essentially just the rays that give you sunburn, and ultraviolet A are the rays that can give you skin cancer and wrinkles. So it's a very good idea to have both of them blocked. And previously, a lot of sunscreens just blocked ultraviolet B.
All right, so we brought in some from the drugstore, and they all have something called SPF, and they have different numbers. What's SPF mean?
So SPF refers to the sun protection factor, and it refers to the sunscreen's property of making it take a longer time for human skin to become sunburned. For instance, an SPF of 10, theoretically under perfect conditions, with constant sunscreen application, would make it so that it takes 10 times longer for you to become sunburned. However, it's not as simple as it sounds. An SPF 100 and an SPF 50, you might think that it's twice as effective or maybe lasts twice as long, but that's not actually the case. SPF 50 blocks about 97% of sun's rays, and SPF 100 only blocks about 98.5%. So there's really not much of a difference between those two.
Does it matter what the number? I mean, is there a magic number above which, up to at least we should try to get?
So I usually tell patients to obtain an SPF of 30 or greater, and there's really no reason to go above 50 unless you have a skin condition that renders you more sensitive to the sunlight.
How often do we put them on?
So it's good to put it on every 2 hours, and you also want, if you get very sweaty or if you go into the water, depending on the label, you may want to apply it every 80 minutes. Also, you do want to apply it 15 to 20 minutes before you go out into the sun.
Why?
Mainly because the chemicals don't become active right away.
I see. All right, and sprays, creams, I think these are all creams, but are sprays good too?
Sprays are okay, but the problem is they give you a very, it's a variable coverage, so you end up just getting an irregular sunburn, especially if you don't put it on in a thick enough layer.
What if we wear clothes? We've got long sleeves or longer pants. Do we need sunscreen, sunblock, sunscreen if we're wearing clothes?
So it's true that clothes can be very protective of certain areas of your body, but in particular the face, the hands, the neck, and sometimes the feet are uncovered, so you still do need to protect those areas. And clothing is not all the same. If you can see sunlight through clothing, then you're still getting ultraviolet rays. For instance, a cotton white t-shirt only has an SPF of 7, so you want to aim for having dark clothing that's not opaque, that has a tight weave. And if you need more inspiration for why to follow these instructions, it's been proven that regular application of sunscreen decreases the risk of squamous cell carcinoma and most likely decreases the risk of basal cell carcinoma and melanoma.
Well, thank you for the information. People need to know this, especially at this time of year.
I agree.
Thank you, Doctor. Simply using sunscreen does not just protect you from a painful sunburn, although that helps too, but it also helps protect you from developing skin cancer. So lather up often and repeatedly. And to schedule an appointment, if you think there's any problem whatsoever, give Dr. Crow or another Metro Health dermatologist a call at 216-778-DERM, like derm, that's skin, 216-778-3376. If you think you might be any problem, any abnormality, you have to have it looked at. To learn more, visit
Find out more by calling Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or go to their website, www.metrohealth.org. Want more Metro Health medical information? Be sure to tune in to WTAM 1100 Radio each Saturday morning at 7 for Metro Health and You, hosted by Dr. Christine Alexander. Next, can you be forced to pay your parents' nursing home costs?